So the question was what is shunya state and how do you find it? Finding is again is in the world of spirituality, all these words lose their meaning, but then there are really no actual words to explain to you. So we have to use these random words like find it, but you cannot really find it. It's always there. There is nothing to find, just to realize. So how do you come to the shunya state? And then how to transform it into your day-to-day life. And that's where the most important thing happens. You can keep meditating for your whole life and nothing may change. So we really need to realize how to reach to that shunya state, as we already talked about, that you do the mindfulness only in the beginning though, but eventually you start realizing that there is something that is watching the thoughts. And what is it? So you try to just observe and observe and observe, and this emptiness, the consciousness starts surfacing by itself. You start getting aware of it, aware of the awareness, and which is formless, colorless. There is no light there. It's all dark. But it's shunya state. There are no thoughts either, because we are watching the thoughts. The consciousness is watching the thoughts. So that's the emptiness where there are no thoughts. So real peace comes only when there are no thoughts. Even in the beginning, you will see that there is a thoughtless state and there are thoughts. That also is there. Again, these are all intermediary steps. But ultimately, you want to go into the paramita state where you go backward. Pratyahara state, that's what Patanjali says, right? So you, in a withdrawal phase, that your interest in this surroundings, in the sense organs and all that becomes less, and then your energy starts getting concentrated within. So that's the paramita state of Buddha, Pratyahara of Patanjali, whatever you name it. And then you realize that sometimes you can just start your meditation right from that stage. You don't have to go through the mindfulness every time and all that. So you do that, and then you settle down in this awareness where you start realizing that awareness is the existence itself. It has its own existence. It's not humbug, it's not made up, it's there. And that confirmation that happens to you, that's when you start getting deeper into this shunya state, which is the consciousness. And that is called salinta, that we call that, and it's called dhyan as per the Patanjali. And then Patanjali goes from pratyahara, dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. So samadhi is where that's all remains, even the thoughts, all this differentiation between thoughts and thoughtless, all those things disappear. You become one homogeneous state. But that can happen in meditation, in the last steps of samadhi and all that. But the question is, how do you practice it? Because during the daytime, a lot of times we interact with people, objects, situation, and you tend to lose your contact with the consciousness that you already have. And invariably you do. And it's understandable. That's again the next step. So meditation has to turn into meditative life. Because as I always say, that the thoughts of what are the thoughts about? They are about objects, people, and situation. That makes the whole sansar, right? So when you open the eyes, what are you going to see? The same objects, people, and situations, nothing different. So the same approach that you have to witness it, you start witnessing. But the real transformation starts happening when you start getting really acquainted with the shunya state. So shunya state is infinite and the thoughts are limited. Thoughts are very superficial. It's like you swimming on the ocean surface. That's it. But you've never gone deep down, like how the whales go miles and miles deep into the ocean. You never experienced that, right? So sansar is just about giving and taking. Whatever I am, I have to take something from someone, and someone has to take something from me, and this is how exchange keeps on happening. We all are swimming on the ocean surface. That's it, for our whole life. And till the last day of life, we never find what is at the bottom of the ocean. We never find it. So that's why it's so important to experience this shunya state and walk around with it. Now, of course, it's not that easy because mind gets distracted. We have done this for all our life, right? Mind keeps on running towards the object, people, situation. Something happens, all the life events requires our attention. All those things always going to happen. What do you do about the shunya state? It disappears. So that's the tug of war is going to happen. It's like one of those these images, the gestalt images that say, because either you see a young lady or you see an old lady, one or the other. You cannot see both, and that kind of situation happens during the our day-to-day life. We just keep following the thoughts and whatever we require, our duties or whatever, and you forget about. But as soon as you sit down in meditation, it comes back again. So all these things are going to happen, but there are some ways to connect with this shunya state, and that comes after you spend enough time in the shunya state. One of the ways to do that is invert your sense organs. You may say that how do you do that? Your eyes looks outside, ears connect with the sound outside, taste connects with the food, but that's only external manifestation of our sense organ. But we have internal connections also, because these same sense organs that hears or sees or touches or smells does carry the impulses all the way back to your brain. Only in the consciousness, when you are conscious, you can interpret what you saw, what you heard, what you tasted, what you touched, all those things. So these five sense organs also have their internal counterparts. And one of the main one that if you spend enough time in shunya state, you can actually start get coming in contact with those internal sense organs. So indriyas, indriyas, but the inside versions of those indriyas. So as you go deeper, you come across the anahat sound. Anahat sound is a cosmic sound. It was created even before the universe was created, right? So this cosmic sound is always there. It's always there. It never shuts off because it is not created by sansar. In sansar, you come across the ahat, means if you clap, two hands has to hit against each other to create the clapping sound. So all the sounds of sansar are created by ahat, interactions. But the inside, the cosmic sound, or the primordial om they call, is a cosmic sound, is anahat sound. So if you spend enough time within, you start listening to, it's just like the crickets, and it never shuts off. It's very, very faint, but if your uh, meditation goes deep enough, you start picking up this subtle things happening inside. But that's only ears. And then the same way, you can have a taste within also. Like if you get angry and you have been meditating, for example, and you try to feel the taste of anger, for example, it will never taste sweet. But if you love your spouse, you love your grandchildren, you love your son, your all that, and when there is love, you try to taste the love, it will taste sweet. So again, these are things not really in a in a physical world that we see, but there are some subtle variations about these experiences. If you like to see beauty outside and you go inside, beauty manifests. So your vision does not have to go out anymore. Inside, and this is Aishwarya. This is the divine manifestations of the Indriyas, right? So this has nothing to do with sansar, but it's there. So all these Indriyas, and so you can pick one or more, depends upon how deep you have gone in. And during the daytime, when suddenly you see there are unnecessary interactions going on, unnecessary messages are coming in WhatsApp and all that, you just remain in tuned. Supposing you're in a gathering and there's totally, bakwas, unnecessary talks are going on, you just connect with your silence. The consciousness is silent. But in that silence, you can connect with this anahat sound and just stay tuned with it and just let the whole sansar pass by. So all these are tricks, and sometimes you don't need any of these indriyas. Eventually, you start realizing that silence is the most beautiful thing. Wars have happened from thoughts and leading to actions and leading to your speech, but silence has never killed anybody. Silence is one of the most beautiful gifts the spirituality can give you. And in that silence, you remain connected. Like I posted in the group today, thoughts are not your enemies. Don't look at them as your enemy, that you have to kill the thoughts, you have to destroy the thoughts, nothing like that. That will never work. But one thing we have done, we think that thoughts are causing us to suffer. Thoughts don't do anything. Thoughts are thoughts. It's us who are suffering because we're going after the thoughts. So instead of giving a company to the thoughts, we just have to connect with your best friend. The best friend is your silence. Silence will never take you into the wrong direction, just the way Arjun connected with Krishna and he showed him his Virat Swarup. That's how Virat, this space within is. And it's a Sunya state, it's infinite. You can stay there forever because the thoughts are produced from silence, the words are produced from silence, actions are produced from silence, which is formless. And all those things can merge back into this formless state. So, formless state, the shunya state, those are, that's your best friend. So connect with them, connect with the shunya state, and it will bring you tremendous amount of peace in your life. So much for today.